Hello fellow YouTubers, this is DVD Collector 1986 here with another video. This is going to be my collection update for May, and I've got a bunch of Blu-rays, some 4Ks, and even a few DVDs, some TV shows, movies, documentaries, a little bit of everything. So I'm going to try to just jump into this. There's a lot here. So I'm going to try to breeze through this as best I can, but get some popcorn and a drink because you might be here for a while. But we'll just get into it. First, I wanted to show this. This is the entire Friends series on Blu-ray. This is a really cool box set. Kind of shows you what all is included. There's documentaries and everything included in here. There's even so many bonus features. There's actually a bonus disc. And then I was just going to show this real quick. It comes with this as well. This is believe it or not, this is an episode guide that has the name of every episode from every season and has a brief synopsis of every episode. So as you are watching the show and going through it, you can kind of keep track of where you are by looking through this episode guide. So if you haven't seen the show while you're watching it, keep this handy. It'll help you kind of keep track of where you're at in the show. I never watched the show growing up because I was a little kid when it came out, but as an adult now, I did watch this show and finished it, and I thought it was great. I thought it was a really, really good TV show, so I highly recommend it. And that box set is pretty shelf-friendly as well. Next, I have this documentary called The Orange Years. This is the Nickelodeon story. It was a network TV station in the late 80s and into the 90s. I grew up watching this all the time. I used to watch it every day, especially when I'd come home from school. And a lot of the shows I grew up watching, like Doug, the Rugrats, Hey Arnold, Are You Afraid of the Dark? Shows like that. They talk about all of that stuff in this documentary. And I really enjoyed this documentary. It's almost 2 hours long, this documentary. So it's a really interesting watch. If you grew up with Nickelodeon like I did, I would highly recommend checking it out because it's pretty cool, that documentary. Next, this is a very, very heavy, very stout box set. This is the Ultimate Richard Pryor Collection, uncensored. Basically, there's a documentary in here called I Am Richard Pryor. There's also another documentary called Richard Pryor, Omit the Logic, which is about Richard Pryor's life. And there's a slew of other things in here that I'm not even going to delve into because there's so much to cover. But this was put out by Time Life, and this is probably the most extensive Richard Pryor box set you'll ever come across. And every single one of his concerts or his comedy stand-ups are included in this box set. Every single one. You're going to find stuff from the late 60s all the way forward in his career. So, I mean, anything and everything Richard Pryor is included in this set. Really, really interesting. And a lot of cool interviews with his wife, the one he was with when he died, his widow. There's interviews with her. There's interviews with people that he worked with, his friends, his co-workers, and all of that stuff, and really, really interesting stuff with this. So I highly recommend, if you are a Richard Pryor fan, you'll definitely want to pick this up. It's a little expensive, but it's worth it. And not only that, I bet you that box set's going to be going out of print before too long. Next, I have Beetlejuice, the complete series. This is the cartoon series from the late 80s. It came out right after the movie, the first one. And I didn't grow up watching this either, but I really have enjoyed watching this show. It's a really, really good cartoon series. Unfortunately, like I said, I never watched it growing up, but I'm glad I have it in my collection now. And there's like 4 seasons of this cartoon series, and it's a good one. This was actually put out by Shout Factory. So, and now we're gonna get into the individual titles I have. Killer Clowns from Outer Space on 4K. This was put out by Shout Factory. This is a relatively new release. It came out on Tuesday, which was just a few days ago. Haven't checked it out yet, but I hope the transfer on it is really good. Next, Night of the Living Dead. This is the remake from 1990. Love this movie. The transfer on this is really good. There were some other releases of this movie on Blu-ray, but the transfers were a little bit on the dark side. And what I mean by that is the color timing was off. It was like they tried to make the entire movie look like it was shot at night, and it really threw off the viewing experience. Well, if you get this release, the color timing is corrected. So it looks like it originally looked, and you can see everything and really enjoy the movie. So, but this was the first zombie movie I ever saw in my life. So I'll always have a soft spot for it. Next, we have The Crow on 4K. Rest in peace, Brandon Lee. I haven't watched this movie all the way through, but I did skip around to a few scenes to see what this movie looks like, and they did an amazing job restoring this on 4K. Just one little thing I'd like to mention. There is no Blu-ray included, so if you don't have a 4K setup, and if you have several TVs in your house and not all of them are set up for 4K, you might want to hold on to your old Blu-ray just to be on the safe side. But this movie looks amazing on 4K. Next, we have, this is also an upgrade, American Sniper on 4K. I love this movie. Rest in peace, Chris Kyle. Great movie. And I haven't checked out that movie yet either on 4K, but I heard the transfer on that one is really good. Then we have some movies here from what's called the MVD Rewind collection. This is The Last American Virgin, movie from the 1980s. Haven't seen that movie yet, but I heard it's good. And then we have another movie from the MVD Rewind collection, Cutting Class, starring a very young Brad Pitt. And Roddy McDowall is also in that movie. Here is Extreme Prejudice. This is an action movie from the late 80s that stars, I believe, is it Nick Nolte? let me see here. Yeah, Nick Nolte and Powers Booth. Music by Jerry Goldsmith. This is a really good action movie from the late 80s. And I mentioned this movie in my previous update, although it hadn't arrived in the mail yet, so I'm going to just show it here. But this is The Bucket List, starring Morgan Freeman and Jack Nicholson. Really enjoyed this movie. I think that's a movie that everybody should see at least once in their life. And my grandmother is a huge Elvis fan, so I had to get this movie. But that's Viva Las Vegas, starring Elvis Presley and Anne Margaret. This was from, I know this came out in the 60s. Let me see here. Yeah, copyright 1963. So that's a classic movie. This is an upgrade. Had this on Blu-ray. Now I have it on 4K. But this is Forrest Gump. Love this movie. And here's another movie from this is from the Vestron series. This is Dream a Little Dream, which stars the two Coreys, I believe. Never seen this movie in my life, but I'd heard it was really good. And it's from the 1980s, so I had to get it. I love most movies that came out in the 1980s, that's for sure. That's my favorite era of movies, by far. And then here's another movie from the 80s. This stars Chris Penn, Leah Thompson, Jenny Wright, Eric Stoltz, and a bunch of other actors who became famous later on. This is from the, like I said, from the 80s. It's called The Wildlife, which I haven't seen this movie yet either, but I heard it's really good. And I also have a movie directed by Steven Spielberg from 1974, starring Goldie Hawn. This is called The Sugarland Express. This is actually a really good movie. I had never seen this, but I watched it the day I got it in the mail, and I really, really enjoyed it. This is a great movie. And so this movie actually came out before Jaws, if I'm not mistaken. But it's a great movie. And then we have a double feature here called, well, it's a comedy double feature, Grumpy Old Men and Grumpier Old Men. I always loved these movies, and I think they're hilarious. So there's that, and this is the last movie for this update. So this is a DVD. There is a Blu-ray for this, but I think I'm gonna stick with the DVD because the Blu-ray is super expensive. But you have Elvis in King Creole, which stars what's her name? Carolyn Jones. Walter Matthau from the Grumpy Old Men movies is in this too. But Carolyn Jones, for those of you who don't know, she played Morticia, the wife of Gomez, in the old 1960s Addams Family TV series. But that will do it for this update. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. If you got this far, I really appreciate it. And I will catch you guys on the next video. Thanks.